Hi all, here we are back again at Small Scale Adventures, ready to have a look at the fantastic new WPL C84-1S, and that S specification is going to be really important to us. It is the most impressive new release from WPL for a long time, and it has stretched what we can expect from the company above and beyond our expectations. Once you've opened the box, you'll find the car itself inside the secure cardboard packaging that's now supplemented with blocks of foam as well, making sure your WPL gets to you in pristine condition. You'll find the new style transmitter that we've seen on the last few WPL releases, with the two controls on the top and the hidden toolkit in the base. Of course, there's the accessory pack with the alternate roll bar, your detail parts and some stickers, and of course the car. And you'll recognise the car from the previous C84-1 release. You'll see the body is the same one that we'll recognise from the C84-1. It's the early Jimny, the last evolution of that, with the slightly wider body. It comes with the hard doors and a simulated fabric roof that I haven't got out here because it makes it easier to show some of the other details. Once the car's out of the box, you'll want to get the battery on charge, which is where you'll notice the first improvement. Our new WPL battery has a JST connector, balance plug, and an increased capacity of 800 milliamps. So we've got a brand new battery here, same 1450 Li-ion style as other WPL batteries, but this one with the increased capacity and a change in plug connections. I suspect our JST plug here is so that it saves a little bit of space in the tray under the seats for storing the battery. So I'm going to go away and get that on charge, and we'll have a look at some other details of the car. From the top, everything is as we recognise. New mechanical catch holding the underseat battery tray, closed. Excellent interior detail we've come to expect. Magnetic catch doors, all carried over from the C84-1. Under the hood, we've got the main power switch and a cover for the electronics tray. I'll demo these later on, but we've got working headlights, working indicators, with a turn-off function for the indicators if you don't like them flashing the whole time you're driving, and a hazard flasher function that flashes all four indicators at the same time. Likewise at the rear, working reverse light, working indicators, working rear marker lights. The rear door opens, and we've got various other seat and internal detail in there as well. Nice little accessory that has been launched alongside the C84-1S is the bikini top as well, and I'm hoping to have one of them in hand to show you very soon. As we get underneath the car, the changes become clear. We can see coilover shock absorbers on the 2-link and panhard bar suspension. Those coilover shock absorbers are the upgrade oil-filled version from WPL. Yeah, that's right, it comes with the upgrade oil-filled shock absorbers as standard. And as we turn it over some more, we begin to see the other details. We've got metal drive shafts, a first for our RTR from WPL. No more woes with your plastic drive shafts disintegrating out on the trail. These are rock solid and up to the job. Slightly different design from the regular WPL metal upgrade shafts. I suspect that's because other elements of the design of this car require a unique length. So rather than redesigning a whole drive shaft from scratch, they've created a more modular design that's easier to manage the additional lengths that they might need for future designs. We can see the new design axles from the C84-1, new crown wheel and pinion design inside there, easier to get to mesh, and hopefully a little bit more durable as well. New front axle design carried over from the C84-1 with the brass bushes in the kingpins, with the caster angle and the slight positive camber as well, all to aid that steering geometry and help the car perform better. You can see the panhard rod and parallel steering link design at the front. That will help us to eliminate the bump steer. You can see there's only the faintest of movement in the angle of those front wheels, down to the accurate and effective panhard rod design. You'll notice a slight spacer has been added to that from the C84-1. Again, showing WPL's constant improvement to each model. Next thing we need to look at is this transfer case in the centre here, taking the place of the WPL counter-rotation gearbox with 370 motor design. We've got the smaller, slimmer transfer case, and any old school WPLers will recognise that casing from the C34KM that is sadly missed. And we've got counter rotation, we've got drive shafts, metal drive shafts running to the front and rear axle, brass bushings throughout these axles as well as an upgrade over the C84-1. Brass bushings also in the steering cups, and that metal axle drive shaft theme is carried along to the steering cups, where we've got metal universal joints to increase steering angle and durability in there as well. We've got our divorced transfer case that leads under the car to another casing that we'll recognise from the venerable WPL 2-speed gearbox with 370 motor, and we can just see the 370 motor tucked away in there. Usually we'd expect to see the servo on the output end of the motor and gearbox combination, but it's not there. This unit has been redesigned. The gear select servo is tucked up the front next to the motor, in the engine position of the real life vehicle. So this is the most scale drivetrain WPL have ever released. We've got the motor and the gearbox at the front, we've got the divorced transfer case, and then drive shafts running to the axles each side. Along with those other upgrades supplied as standard, you can see there are also the WPL metal wheel weights mounted on the insides of the C84, C84-1 style wheels that we've seen before. Beautiful scale wheels, nice scale sized tyres, really enhancing the overall look of this model. So there we have an absolutely astounding specification. We've got remote operated 2-speed mechanical gearbox, not electronic. It doesn't just slow the speed down, it is actually 2 different gear ratios, a slow, low geared crawling ratio and a higher trailing ratio that should be able to keep up with you when you're walking along the trail. We've got metal drive gears and metal gears inside the transfer case, metal drive shafts to each axle, brass bushings within the axles and the steering cups, brass bushings in the kingpins as well as the enhanced geometry of the new front axle, oil-filled shock absorbers to dampen any bounce that you experience with the model while it's driving, and wheel weights as standard, as well as the fully functioning light kit with the configurable indicator response as well. So there are all your details of the new C84-1S. I can't wait to get this one out on the trail and see how it performs. You can see that as the default setting, the indicators function with steering inputs. You can cancel the indicators by holding the brake button and making a right steering input. Now you can turn off those annoying constant indicators. Cancel that by holding the brake button and making another right steering input, and the indicators will be back in action. By holding the brake button and making a left steering input, you can activate the hazard warning signals. Cancel the hazard warning signals by holding the brake button and making another left steering input. Now that we're out on the trail, you'll be able to see just how effective those oil-filled shocks are, removing all of the bounce from that soft, supple suspension as we traverse the rocks. That low ratio crawler gear is making long, slow climbs and steady, precise control an absolute breeze. You can see that I have now got the WPL Bikini Roof accessory fitted. That's the only change from box stock made to this car, apart from the addition of a driver from AliExpress. The scale realistic tyres are quite hard, but the addition of wheel weights as standard keeps the vehicle stable and allows it to make the most of the grip that they do have. The WPL electronics, as always, offer fantastic slow speed control. Thanks for watching. Please do check out the video description for links to the car and the accessories used. Bye bye.